Hello, everyone, and thank you all for tuning in to our forum today. We are very excited to have this. This is our first Bullying 101 forum panel that we're having, and hopefully it is the first of many. Our host tonight is Donovan Clark, who is my nephew. I'm very proud to say this. But Have a Heart Foundation, Miss Dr. Rosalind Thyssen put this together. So we're very happy to do this. And we're going to sit back and let Donovan take the lead on this. And I hope that everyone enjoys it. Go, Donovan.
All righty. Good evening, everyone. I'm Donovan Clark. I'm 9 years old and I'm a fourth grader at Zachary Elementary School. I'm very happy to be able to host this discussion tonight about bullying. I believe that bullying is wrong of all types and is wrong and no one should do it. Should be a bully too. So let's start with the general, can I let everyone introduce themselves, please?
Okay, which order are we going in? Hi, everyone. My name is Angelica Johnson-Smith. I am an 18-year educator in the East Baton Rouge Parish School System.
Now can we get Mr. Aaron?
How you doing? My name is Aaron Sutton, affectionately known as Coach Sutton. I've been a youth football coach for roughly 15 years, a high school coach for about 9 years. Also a community activist with dealing with inner city kids, in addition to being an educator for many years. And like I said, my passion is to see our youth become better quality, productive, good citizens in every
area. Thank you. We're missing two people. Coach Rod.
Coach Rod is here.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here. Coach Rod is here. I'm the how's it going? Founder of Born Dope Foundation. And our mission is to fight against bullying in communities and schools, and along with raising confidence within the children.
Yes. Do we have Attorney Ryan Thompson?
He not joined us yet.
Do we have, how do you pronounce your name? Tasia?
Not yet. She may be joining later.
Okay. So let's start with the general question. What is bullying? Can we start with you, Ms. Johnson?
Yeah. Bullying has many, many components to it, but bullying is making someone else feel smaller than you, less than you, so that you feel good about yourself. And that's not a good thing. Bullying affects both the person that's being bullied and the person that is the bully, okay? Bullying is not using kind words or actions towards other people. They can be the person that's the same age as you. They can be a person that's older than you. It can be anybody, but bullying is never good, it's never useful, and it's never helpful.
Coach Sutton, can you please answer that question?
Well, I also look at, just like Ms. Smith was just emphasizing, bullying, when you coerce somebody to do something aggressively, or even when you think that you're just playing with somebody. You know, you may say something that's hurtful that you call yourself playing because we're playing the dozen, we're josing. These are terminology. This is terminology that's used amongst peers and kids on a daily basis. You know, we're just josing. We're joking, we're playing the dozen. These are things that kind of go over a parent's head that may not be hip, or they may go over the head of a person that may not be connected with youth, and you may not realize, but that's a form of bullying. So just keep that in mind.
I don't know if the attorney is on yet. Are you here?
I am, little brother.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm attorney Ryan Thompson. I'm an attorney in Louisiana, social advocate.
And I had a question. So, what is bullying? For Coach Rod and you Mr. Thompson.
Okay. Who you want to go first? Ladies first, or you want me to go?
First, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, everything that everyone has said thus far is true and it's accurate. Bullying in and of itself is rooted in insecurity, and that's where the person or the bully is not respecting the differences that they see in someone else. And bullying takes on many types. There's verbal bullying, there's physical, there's social bullying, there's cyberbullying. But in and of itself, the bully is insecure and they have not learned how to respect the differences in other people.
Thank you. Can I get Mr. Thompson to answer the question, please?
I think Attorney Thompson got disconnected at some point. His screen froze.
Okay. Well, he had a question, but so our second question is for everybody still. We can go in that same order. So the next question is, how would cyberbullying be different than other types of bullying?
Oh, wow. Cyberbullying is a big thing because almost everybody now has social media or some type of account. They also have cell phones where they can record things and share them. And the thing with cyberbullying is it can be passed on and on and on, and it never changes. You keep seeing the same images over and over and over again. You can also change the narrative of the story or a picture that's been sent around. So people start rumors and it spreads like wildfire on social media.
Right.
Also looking at just like once again, like Dr. Smith focused on the never-ending narrative that comes with being attached to cyberbullying. People think that things are deleted from the internet. It never goes away. And it's been proven time and time again how conversations, images, or stories resurface in different forms on different outlets. You see it always happen in the tabloids, whether it's social media sites, TMZ, and things that we don't recognize as bullying, because you look at it, whether it's only them telling a story about my celebrity friend, it's only them telling a story about somebody who's famous. But to be honest with you, that's a form of bullying because they don't have factual information a lot of times that that's true, and they're assassinating someone's character. So in turn, kids adapt that and think that that's the norm, i.e. when you watch Love and Hip Hop, not bashing how people are making money, but at the end of the day, at what expense are you making money at? Whether it's rap lyrics or it's entertainment on television, these things are used to be vehicles to promote bullying, and we embrace them because it's entertainment, but entertainment is not always fun. So that's how cyberbullying and all of that plays a part, because it's a never ending part. You have things called exposed pages where people just do things to be harmful to others, So these are the avenues where you can take this from something that was minuscule and turn it into something that's just gigantic and big all around the country, where now it's going viral. That's something that started out in a small little city or small little town. Now it's viral and everybody around the country is seeing something where somebody's being exploited in a negative way.
And I'm sorry.
You good?
You're about to go?
Yeah, I can wait. You can go ahead.
So I was saying, like, how it's crazy how it is more like faster to spread when it's with famous people, other than like regular people who live in Zachary or Baton Rouge. Like, everybody's on social media like 10 times a day, don't want to let their phone go. And everybody sees it. So everybody, like, I don't know the people name because I can't have Instagram, but still.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And can you get Coach Rod to answer, please?
Yes, in addition to whatever everyone has already said, is that, I mean, when you're dealing with cyberbullying, you're dealing with a combination of both social and verbal bullying, because you have someone who's taken to social media and they're trying to bash the character or embarrass or create negative rumors about a kid or a person or even an adult on social media. And it can go unchecked if the person, whether it's a child or an adult, never reports it. And it's something that can be, checked by the local authorities if reported. So I think it's very important that children know, and those who are victims of cyberbullying know that there are options or a way of escape for them to escape that negative behavior that's being placed upon them by the bully.
Yeah. Can we get Mr. Thompson to answer this, the last part of this question, please?
If you please forgive me, I didn't get the question. So if you ask me the question again, I'd answer it. Sorry about that. I have a real bad internet connection right now.
The question was, how would cyberbullying be different than other types of bullying?
Well, I think obviously the time has changed, and this is a new internet age. And so typically when one thinks about bullying, we think about in-person bullying. Obviously, this thing goes on in school. It goes on in person. It's in fact a situation where someone could say these things to someone directly, right? But obviously with social media, in terms of Facebook, Instagram, the other different things that young folks are using these days, these things can occur without someone being like in person, meaning like formal. The other side of that is that typically in the past, when one thinks of bullying, we think of the incidents occurring at school. And so when someone is able to leave, they go home, and the quote unquote bullying stops. But with social media and everybody being interconnected, that doesn't necessarily happen, right? So we're all friends on Facebook, we're all friends on social media, Instagram, other mediums in which we use to connect with one another. It does not stop. So to answer your questions, young brother, is that when you talk about cyberbullying, it's just the fact that we're in an internet age and everyone is connected. And so what happens is that everyone.
Okay, I got it.
So what happens is that everyone stays connected, and that form of what we call now cyberbullying is really a continuous thing that never really stops.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I like all those answers. Thank you. And like when you leave school and when you get to those higher ages, when you can bring your phone to school, some people, they're just very, very, very mean. And they think that they just have it all and that they're all that. So they'll video people getting beat up for no reason. And then follow you home, and if you trip you, literally just hold their leg out and then you fall. That's how bad cyberbullying is. The next question is for Attorney Ryan Thompson. What are laws related to bullying that kids should know about?
So that's a very good question. There's a term that everyone should know. It's called in loco parentis. In loco parentis means, young brother, that once your parents allow someone of authority, meaning and typically it's schools, to receive you, meaning that they have authority over you when you go to school, it means that they now act as the parent, right? And so what I want parents to know is,
Did he leave?
I think we lost him again.
Well, he's still on, I think. something happened with his sound.
That I should be aware of signals that happen. I should be aware of other individuals coming to me and notifying me of things that occur that may be deemed bullying. So with that being said, here's what should happen. If someone comes to you and notifies a parent who is, or is a person who is acting as a parent, that person should then take immediate action to investigate the alleged act of bullying. What also should happen is that both sides should be notified, whether it is the person who is doing the, or alleged to have doing the bullying, or the person who's been bullied. They should both be contacted, and then these things should be investigated. There's a certain time period that should be initiated in terms of bullying.
He's breaking up. He's still on.
Action based on the person in charge should vary, but at the least, at minimum, there should be a notification, and the person who is in charge, the person who's acting as a parent who has a duty, should initiate some form of investigation once that then occurs, once that notification happens.
Thank you. And it's crazy how some people think that like bullying is not a crime when it is. But I just want to know, can you go to jail for bullying?
So when you talk about like, can you go to jail in bullying, we're now talking about two different things. One is a civil action and one is a criminal action. If one is bullied, there is different crimes which someone could be charged with. So
Attorney Thompson, I think you're frozen again.
Hit or anything of that nature, they can be criminally charged, right? So yes, bullying can be a criminal charge. The other side of that is if someone is using words to offend you. Obviously, words are not necessarily touching someone. They can be offensive, right? But that's not necessarily, in most instances, a criminal charge. It's just something that is deemed harmful or offensive. So that's not necessarily a criminal charge. It can be, right? And it can lead to criminal charges, but that's not necessarily something that would lead to someone being arrested, right? That is something that's handled civilly, meaning person to person. So to answer your question, the answer is, and I know most folks don't want to hear this, it depends, right? But if there is a touching, an unlawful touching in most instances, or if there is something that leads to someone harming themselves, then it can lead to criminal action. But I want to make sure that the listeners, the people who are participating in this forum, understand that there are two different pathways. There's things that are civil, there are things that are criminal, and sometimes they blend with one another. So that's the answer there.
Okay, thank you. And we know Miss Louisiana Collegiate is having some health issues, so let's just keep her in our prayers. And this question is for Coach Sutton and Mrs. Johnson. If kids in your class are being bullied, what should they do, or what can their parents do?
Okay, so I'll start. I teach elementary school. My primary grade that I was teaching was kindergarten through second grade. I did teach fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, but most of my years were spent in the lower elementary. And believe it or not, bullying starts in kindergarten, pre-K. They learn how to bully just by doing the simple things, sharing items in the classroom. Making friends is a big thing. You can't be her friend, or if you're going to be friends with us, you can only be friends with this person, that person, and that. So it starts off small. So as a teacher, my goal in kindergarten is to be the person that teaches them that they can share and they can be friends with everyone. And we use kind words. We speak to people with respect, and we are expected to get respect. So when a child is being bullied, normally it occurs outside of the classroom, maybe on the bus, sometimes at recess when a class intermingles, maybe on the way to school. So the best way or the best thing for a child to do is the first thing you should do is to tell a teacher. Now, in some cases, there are some teachers that say, oh, you're fine. They're just playing with you. You're going to be okay. Find another teacher. Because there is one teacher somewhere on that campus that is going to step in on your behalf and advocate for you and make sure that you're safe at school and that the bullying is handled. They're going to get in contact with the parents. So if you don't stop at one, if that one teacher doesn't help, you keep going until you get to another teacher. If you can't get to a teacher that assists you, let's go to an administrator, because that's your school and you should be safe at that school. You should be there to learn, have fun, grow, and do all the fun things that your parents intended for you to do. Okay? So the best and the first thing to do is to tell a teacher. And if you can't find a teacher that is going to report it or just brushes it off as regular childhood behavior, find another teacher. I'm telling you, they always have that one teacher on campus that is everybody's teacher. That's me. That's everybody's teacher. You can always go to that teacher and she's going to make sure that things are taken care of. Okay?
Good deal. I guess the foundational thing, I teach high school. I've been a dean and an administrator at a school before from K through 12. So, I mean, bullying has been something that would come across my desk. That word would come across my desk in reference to a issue with two students on continuously. Identifying the issue first and foremost with communication to the kids, allowing them to have that open dialogue with you as a teacher first and foremost, to where outside of the parameters of class that, hey, if I need to come talk to you about my day, coach, can I come really tell you that, man, today I had a bad day because, we were in the group chat, like we were playing a video game last night, or, my mama came in here and got on me and slapped me on live while I was on live. And now everybody captured that and shared it with everybody around school. Coach, I'm really embarrassed. Or I got exposed, coach, because I thought I trusted John, and he said he loved me and he exposed me to all his friends. These are things that, teaching self-worth. I'm a history teacher now and I primarily focus on, teaching our history, which is African-American history, in our voyage, and teaching and educating about self-worth is one of the primary things that I focus on with our kids and our young adults, and trying to put them in a perspective of is my words that come out of my mouth so hurtful to that other person that I can't apologize to repair it. See, some people think that the word I'm sorry fixes everything because it's words, but I believe in action. So you have to teach them that the action of I'm sorry, it means more. And you show that by being remorseful for what you've done, whether you've offended a person and you didn't realize it, or you were a part of the people that were laughing at the person. These are things that you have to go over and emphasize in the classroom. Hey, or at school, man, come talk to me about this. If you feel like you're uncomfortable with talking to me, let me point you in the right direction of someone else. Also, confiding in that best friend that that's going to tell it. It's going to go get you some help. That's the thing too. You have your friend girls. I get more students probably that say, coach, such and such having a bad day, coach. They really need your help. And you'll find out more from their peers more so than them about whatever issue or dynamic that they're dealing with. In addition to that, what parents could do to head off bullying, don't ignore the signs of your child saying that they don't want to be a part of something that they've been doing, for months or years or weeks. If they've been excited about going to gym class or football practice and all of a sudden they don't want to go, those are signs that something's not right. Don't ignore those signs. And that's the big thing. I mean, being a football coach and a former Marine, these are things, bullying, the culture of where we are in football, the culture from the military standpoint, bullying is not looked at initially at the same rate of how it's looked in the educational system, how it's looking in the day-to-day street environment. The butt of the joke, you know, a coach may say something that's looked at as, man, that's harsh. And the kid may not receive it initially like that. Or a kid may be disciplined in front of all of his peers versus being in a one-on-one situation. This can cause a kid to feel like, you know, he's being singled out or picked on. That is a form of bullying. I've tried my best to adjust my coaching method based on the more you get educated about a subject, the more you get educated about, you know, bullying and you know, kids dealing with different issues, the better person that you can help them become, because you become a better person. And that's the primary focus of what I've been looking at with myself, self-analyzation of how can I become a better coach without becoming that guy who has to demean or you know, belittle a athlete in front of everybody. You know, what can I do differently in those settings? Because it doesn't feel good. It didn't feel good when it was done to me, you know. But once again, these are things that we have to be conscious of and continue to work on. And what we're doing tonight is the foundation to self-educate on those subjects.
Yeah. Now, Coach Rod, can you tell us about the Born Dope Foundation and what it's doing to address bullying?
Oh, yes. One of the things that we do, we go into the schools and we educate the children. One area that kids can do to help intercept bullying, most of the witnesses are bystanders to bullying, and they are standing by and allowing it to go on and saying nothing. And so it has been proven statistically that if the bystanders would say something, and that could interrupt the negative behavior that's taking place at that time. So we try to, our goal is to empower the children, and again, raise their confidence, because at the end of the day, most of the time it's the children who have low self-esteem, who lack that confidence, are the ones who are picked on, or the child that may be shy. That tends to be the child that's picked on. And so it's very important that we address the issue of bullying, but also we have to address the understanding that our children need to have that confidence in knowing who they are. And when they know who they are, they will not accept certain negative behaviors that's being displayed, whether in the community or even in the school system. So again, our mission at Born Dope is to fight against bullying in the schools and the community, and raise the child's confidence. Because even once the bullying has passed away, that child is still has to deal with the psychological, the mental, and the emotional ramifications that come along with that. And that's long after the child has been bullied. Even for me, I was bullied in high school because I was so skinny, and I'm still skinny. But but I was bullied for being so skinny and picked on because of my size. And so even after I had graduated from high school, I found myself having to deal with some of those thoughts or those words that were projected on me because of my body type. And so I think it's very important that even after we encourage children, to bystanders to stand up and things like that, we got to raise the confidence in children so that they will know that they are bright, they're intelligent, they're handsome, the young ladies are beautiful, and that they don't have to accept no negative behavior for anyone.
Does anyone have any last messages for kids being bullied?
I do. I would want everyone who's participating in this to know this. It is the policy of the school board in East Baton Rouge, and it also is the policy of every school district in this state. There should be an orientation for all students at the beginning of the year about bullying. If you are a transfer student and you come into a school or school district, there's a certain amount of days in which the school district and or the school has to orientate you about bullying. So there is no excuse that any child, any administrator, anyone who is a part of the school district or the school, they should know about bullying and what are the signals, the triggers, what bullying looks like. So that is my final words to everyone here, is to ensure that you are orientated about what bullying is, what it looks like, And if you have not had a bullying orientation at the beginning of your school year, or if you are a transfer student when you come in, you need to go to your administrator, preferably in email, right? But if you have to have an oral conversation, that's okay too, and follow that with an email or a text message. Be sure that that happens, because again, this is a serious epidemic. It's not at the pandemic level, but a serious epidemic, and it's something that is on the rise, and we all need to be aware of it, because again, if we don't have our children, we don't have a future.
True.
Thank you all. But before we go, let's give a special thanks to the Have a Heart Foundation and Miss Rosalind Thyssen for making this possible. Thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight.
You did a good job, Donovan.
Hey, it's Dr. Rosalind now.
Thank Dr. Rosalind Thyssen.
Rosalind.
So before I let Donovan close this out, I just really want to say thank you to everybody from the Have a Heart Foundation. Miss Rosalind, Dr. Rosalind Thyssen, who is one of my closest friends, but also the mother of Traeh Thyssen, which is why all of this was started, has done an incredible job of taking her pain and what she's experienced it and making it a learning and teaching experience for all of us, to really bring to light some topics that we otherwise wouldn't have probably been having this discussion about. I think that it's incredible that, tonight we had a discussion led by a 9-year-old, and we've had over 30 adult participants join in. So let's just give all of our participants a hand clap as well. Thank all of you for joining. Don't let this stop here. Like the Have a Heart Foundation, follow the Have a Heart Foundation's page on social media. Also, Born Dope, follow that organization as well. If any of the rest of you have an organization or a movement that we can join, follow, whatever, we really want to bring as much awareness to bullying and address this, so that we will hear about more success stories and less tragedies related to bullying, and getting this thing addressed, and really making sure that our children, our youth, that is our future, we don't lose them to something such as bullying that could be prevented earlier on.
Right.
Back to you, Donovan. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Take your time.
That's too funny.
I thank everyone for coming. And hey, Miss Cole. Hey, Miss Amanda. Hey, Teacher Ann. Thank y'all for coming. And hey, Miss Amanda. And Buddy, Mimi. Hey, Daddy. I got told to wrap it up. So, all right, y'all.
Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Hold on. Hey,
Have a good
hold on.
night.
Tasia White, before we end, I just noticed that you joined. I think Donovan told us, and Ms. Thyssen told us that you were having some issues tonight. But if you want to say anything, please feel free. We want to give you a few seconds to say anything that you want to say and add to this discussion. Thank you for being a part of this and helping us get this launched as well.
Absolutely.
Question.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry guys. I was having some health difficulties earlier. And sometimes it affects my speech, but doing a little better now. I got to catch the last end of it, and even the mention of there being an orientation that kids are supposed to receive about bullying was something that I didn't even know. I've never even heard of like my sisters coming home and tell me something like that. And so I just want you all to realize like this is a discussion that is important to have, and just how important it really is that a lot of kids sometimes don't even realize that they're being bullied. Like they may have a person say something to them that's harmful and not even realize that that is bullying, because sometimes it can be such a harsh word that I think sometimes the school system tries to shy away from it, or, you know, tries to say, you know, you can handle that or be tough. But we have to realize we never allow another person the power to tear you down. You have to realize, you know, the love that people have for you and the person that you are and the value that you give, and, you know, that, you know, you have an amazing legacy to build. And so I'm really grateful that I have this opportunity to speak on this through being a title holder. But even me, I'm in the field of speech pathology. So I meet kids and adults all the time with a wide array of disabilities and things. And they have to hide who they are because they're afraid of how people will look at them because of the way they speak, or, you know, the way they were born. And, you know, it's just important to realize that, you know, sometimes our kids are hurting, you know, and, you know, just having these discussions and giving them the opportunity to speak up about it, and just realizing that it's okay. It does not make you weak, and it does not, you know, make you anything. That just makes you, you know, powerful to be able to use your voice and fight against this, you know, because it absolutely is an epidemic that I hope one day we don't have to have these discussions.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your Miss Louisiana.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. You want to close out? Donovan, Ms. Thyssen asked if you would close us in a quick prayer, and that's how we will end this.
Okay. Lord God, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for this evening. I pray that everyone was touched by this talk and everybody learned something, and that everybody that will be able to do this again sometimes, and that all kids will be able to host talks, and that Traeh will be doing good. And we know that he's watching over us right now, smiling at us. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
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 Thank you all for attending.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Donovan.